All right. Hi, everybody. Today I am joined with the one and only Sister Jeanne. Co-hosting with me, very special guest, is Nicole Hersey. What two better people to interview the greatest? So we're going to jump right into it. Sister Jeanne, how long have you been at Merrimack?
I have been at Merrimack this is my 7th year.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you people have not killed me yet.
And what brought you to Merrimack?
I just finished my doctorate degree, and there was a job as an adjunct, and so I started as an adjunct. And then Dr. Kelly, whom you all know, was the chair of the department, and he said, we need to have you be here full time. And we thought about how we would do that. We wrote a grant, and there I am, full time at Merrimack. The grant was to have, 25 students every year in the Austin Scholars Program, just a freshman year program for 1 year. And as you can tell, it has grown by leaps and bounds. It's now a 4-year program. There are 315 students in the program as of this afternoon. And I think I just might have had a conversation with another young person that wants to be a part of it. So we could be at 316. It's just amazing. And the reason why it's amazing is because of the students that are a part of it. And it is so student-led. And just this afternoon, I was on a meeting with the School of Liberal Arts, and I was talking about how, Austin Scholars, we really do listen to you. And I hope you hear that. We listen to I listen all the time to what you want. I mean, I test it because not everything that college students wants is definitely a good thing. But for the most part, you're very sound, and you know what the next step should be. So it's a partnership with my students.
So, what made you want to become a nun?
Well, I had the Sisters of St. Joseph in school as a kid. And when I was in 4th grade, I had this nun, Sister Raynaud, and I thought she was just amazing. She was funny. She was just full of life. And so I wanted to dress up like her for Halloween. So I decided I was going to be Sister Raynaud for Halloween. And when I was one of the things we had to do in art class was we had to do like this, it was made out of like felt and stuff. You had to do a picture of whatever you're going to be for Halloween. And so I was trying to draw Sister Raynaud with felt. And the art teacher, who was also Sister of St. Joseph, Sister Alice, came over and said, Jean Marie, if you're going to be Raynaud for Sister Raynaud for Halloween, you need to make sure you give her a big mouth. And then she just laughed, and I said, oh my God, like they're so normal. And like that's kind of what like really stuck with me, was that they were so normal, and then that they really cared about people, and they had this love of God and love of neighbor that really inspired me. And I think that that's actually sort of the foundation of the Austin Scholars Program too, is to, how do we find God in our neighbor?
I was going to say, that's also very Augustinian.
Well, if Father Ray were on this right now, he would say, well, that's because everything comes from Augustine. And, you people, you're a TA right now for the RTS 2400, the Augustine course. And Nicole, you're in the Augustine course, right? And, really, Augustine is one of the first and greatest doctors of the church, and he's really the doctor of grace. And when you think of all that we're going through in our world with the Black Lives Matter and racism, isn't it true that we've all made mistakes in regards to so many things in our lives, and how important it is to be able to hit the reset button and to learn and to grow? And I think that's what Augustine really was able to do in his life. And I think that's why he's so appealing to young people once you really get to know him, is because he really gives you a model to live your life by.
I really like that. Going back, you talked a little bit about, Austin Scholars and everything, but what made you want to start the program? What led to this need and why? I don't know, because I feel like Merrimack College, it's very unique. Like, I don't think the Austin Scholars Program, I mean, it's a good idea to do it in other colleges, but I don't think it could work anywhere else. So what made you want to come up with this idea of this community and this living learning community?
Well, it had existed prior to my being here, but it was a very different version. The students took one class together, they lived together, they took one class during freshman year, and they did one weekend of service. Um, and my experience working with young people, I was Mayor Menino's youth advisor for 10 years, was that young people really want to be of service. And it's sort of their toe into the God question. And I really think that if we could help you to learn how to reflect, that it could be something that could really meet your needs. And I think I had seen that and heard that. And I think, Michael, to be honest with you, I think the reason why it worked is because we dedicate one Friday a week to circle up, and it is reflection. And it's a time when the professor sits down and listens to you. So we are taught in Austin Scholars, in these Austin Scholar classes, by your experience. And I think that there's something really important. I think that there's something that speaks to students that the teacher too can be led by what you folks are going through.
What would you say is your favorite memory from the program?
There are so many memories of Austin Scholars. I mean, you all are just crazy. I mean, in your own way. I mean, I had a freshman this year who said to me he was going to have sushi for breakfast. And I said, yuck, SJ, don't yuck my yum. I mean, there's just like so many things that you say and do. And when I was thinking about growing the program at first, the first time the folks asked her, they were like, I actually was bowled over when Mary Lavalle said, just look at all the people we will help. And I'm like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Taking Austin Scholars to Bogota, Colombia, and having Tony drop I think it was Hope Saltz's sweatshirt into a big puddle, and them running around saying that this was going to be, I don't know, it wasn't COVID at the time, but what do you call the thing? Equinine, because it was there was so many. I mean, just you guys are crazy. I mean, and in a great way. And you just make me. I mean, there's just so many things that you make me laugh about. You just cannot make up the things that I learned from Austin Scholars.
No, that's true. In addition to all the funny and crazy moments, there's also definitely a lot of really good, deep, profound moments that we have. So you definitely get the balance. What would you say is the best, what's the best takeaway someone can get from the Austin Scholars Program? Or I don't know, what would be the biggest takeaway or the best part that someone could get out of it?
I think, as I say at the end of all of my classes, Michael, that life is not easy. Bad things happen to really good people. There is suffering, and always the question is, why does God allow suffering? But I think the most important thing that can be taken away is that no matter what happens, you might never remember the Council of Chalcedon or the Council of Nicaea or some of these things that we teach you, or the Donatus controversy or whatever from Augustine. But if you remember that when bad things happen, that there's a God that walks with you, that loves you, and that is there if all you have to do is try to lean into that God. If you get that, then you have something that will last a lifetime. It really, for me, it really is about whether you call God by the name God or transcendent or a higher power, that you just realize that in those darkest moments that you're never alone.
I got a good question for you here this time. How is it working with the Dr. Dory Manson?
It's wonderful. Dory fits perfectly in the program. She understands the vision, and she's very skilled at the reflection. The reflection piece is really key to this program, and I think that that's the most important piece, and that's really the piece where people share the stuff of their lives, and she's very good at that, and she gets it, and she also gets that we have to be flexible working with young people, and no, she's very talented, and I enjoy working with her very, very much.
All right, and then I think this might be the last question, unless you got something else there. I don't know, but it's a good one. How much longer do you think you're going to stay here as running the Austin Scholars program?
Get rid of me?
Huh? I don't want you to leave me, is what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if you're planning on leaving me. I don't want you to, so I got to know.
As long as I feel that the Austin program needs that is where I belong. I belong there. I belong there with you. The fact that the Austin Scholars program has grown so much says to me that I'll probably be there for quite a long time. Nicole, unfortunately for you, you'll probably be inviting me to your wedding, and to maybe when you have your children baptized, you'll be like, oh, where's that old nun?
My favorite nun, always.
Always invited to everything. Final question before we sign off. Which one of us is your favorite?
You can't tell me I'm not your favorite. Come on.
And we're out of time. So,
and you know what? All of my students are my favorite. I love you
but
all.
I'm already your favorite, Hersey.
Not saying anything. I plead the fifth.
Fine. Couldn't get her to trip up. Whatever.
All
right. We'll sign off. I'm Michael Senoff.
And I'm Nicole Hersey.
And I'm SJ the Nun.
Woo!
This has been the Austin Scholars Podcast. Everyone, stay safe and stay well.
And smell ya.